Hi everyone, I am Dr. Vinmayil, Assistant Professor of English, V.V. Vanya Perumal College for Women, Virudhunagar. Today in this video we are going to see William Shakespeare's Macbeth, an introduction. Poetry is the most favorite genre for all of us. It's all because of its sweet language and music. This literary genre has two subdivisions, namely epic and satire. Epic deals with the noble actions of good men, whereas satire criticizes the mean actions of bad men. Under epic, we have a subgenre in drama called tragedy. It is tragedy because it has tragic end. The final act is filled with bloodshed, murder, death, battle, and so on. In satire, we have comedy. The dramas which provoke laughter among the audience through actions, dialogues, and events are called comedy. Let us define tragedy. This definition is based on Aristotle. Aristotle defines tragedy as an imitation of serious action. In his Poetics, he found that a tragedy should contain events or action which is serious and complete in itself. As it deals with the life events of great noble persons from aristocracy, the language should be embellished with artistic ornaments such as rhythm, harmony, song, and music. The form of action or the narration should be filled with actions rather than narrative verse. Aristotle believed that the tragic incident should arouse pity and fear among the spectators. Through this pity and fear, the dramatist could purify the emotions of the audience. That is what he calls purgation. Next, we can see the constituent parts of tragedy. There are 6 parts in a tragedy. The first 3 are most important: plot, character, and thought. They are the things to be imitated from one's life. And secondly, we have diction and song. They are the medium employed to imitate the actions of the personality. Diction is the language used to represent the character, thought, as well as the events. Next, we have spectacle. It is nothing but the manner of imitation. It depends upon the stagecraft of the dramatist. Next, we can see the definition for each and every element here. Plot is the arrangement of events which may be complex with some subplot. The event should be intact without any loose ends. The character determines the men's qualities. It is revealed through the actions and thoughts, dialogues as well as. Thirdly, we have thoughts. This is nothing but the imitation of men's mental and emotional agony and reactions to the circumstances the characters encounter during the course of the action. Fourthly, we have diction. The language used by the dramatist always highlight the characters, themes, mood, everything, which formulate a complete plot. Next we have songs. Songs help the dramatist to establish the mood and atmosphere, the pleasure as well as the theatrical environment. Lastly, we have spectacle. It is the stage representation of the plot, events, the setting. It depends upon the dramatist's mastery over the stagecraft as well as the play's demand. What we are seeing now is Freytag's pyramid. Gustav Freytag was a 19th century literary critic. He proposed a pyramid which could comprise all the 5 acts of Shakespeare's plays. It puts in a nutshell the development of Shakespeare's plots. The first act exposes the mood, the character, the setting of the play. Secondly, we have complication. The complication denotes the rising action, the knot which may intrigue the plot. It also highlights the conflict that is going to be encountered by the protagonist. Third one is climax, that is the third act. The protagonist's choice just decides the next few events. So the climax is the most important turning point. We can call it as a crisis or a tragic turning point, which triggers the protagonist to decide his own fate. Next, in the fourth act, we could see resolution. The resolution can be denouement or catastrophe. It is nothing but the recognition of his own flaw. The tragic flaw is revealed, his own fortune which has been falling down. Therefore, the falling action leads to the catastrophe of the tragic hero. So in the fifth act, we could see the protagonist is encountering his own death because of the choice he has made in climax. The consequences he has to face because of the choice he has made. Here is the simple slide which summarizes the 5 important elements in Shakespeare's tragedy. You can note down the rising and falling action. Next, we can see what are the key elements in Shakespeare's tragedy. The first one is tragic hero. A tragic hero describes a male or female virtuous character who may face adversity or miseries, misfortunes due to his flawed persona, or which may be due to the fate. The hero is shown at the height of his fortune or happiness, but towards the end of the play we could see the downfall of the hero, which occurs only because of his tragic flaw. Shakespeare's tragedies differ from the Greek tragedies in many aspects. Shakespeare finds that instead of fate or destiny, the character determines one's own life, determines one's own flaw, determines one's own life. So, the character, the protagonist, is fated to decide his doom. The next element is the dichotomy of good and evil. Shakespeare's tragedies finds a conflict between good and evil. Shakespeare traces a tragic flaw in the hero of the tragedy, which pushed him towards his downfall. He proves how character is destiny in all his tragedies. What is tragic waste? There should be a poetic justice in a literary work, but we could find a tragic waste in Shakespeare's tragedies. For example, the good is punished because of the only flaw he has in his character. That flaw leads him to the evil path, therefore he must be punished. But along with him, some innocent hearts are also punished or doomed. For example, in King Lear, along with King Lear, Cordelia, along with King Lear's daughters Goneril and Regan, Cordelia is also punished. That is what lack of poetic justice and or tragic waste. A hamartia, the hero's tragic flaw is known as hamartia. It is his flaw or mistake or blemish in his character. The issues of fate or fortune lead to his flaw. Sometimes the hero, in order to take a foul revenge, meet his death. The play of supernatural elements is the most powerful stagecraft in Shakespeare's tragedies. Elizabethans believed in black magic and they love watching witchcraft, ghosts. So Shakespeare involves supernatural elements as another characters, and they have a vital role in moving the play forward. And the next term is conflict. This conflict is between external agency or the internal agency of the protagonist. Therefore, the conflict forces the protagonist to decide his fate. The power of external agencies on his destiny or his own internal conflict leads him to tragedy. And the last thing, the lack of three unities. In this way, Shakespeare deviates from Greek tragedies. Aristotle insists that there should be three unities: unity of time, unity of place, unity of action. But most of Shakespeare's plays incorporate actions which takes place across countries and battles which may take long time to happen, not within 24 hours. And sometimes events may be tragedy as well as comical elements are mixed sometimes.